Hey people, how y'all doing? Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we'll be talking about pre-writing skills. Before now, we know that we usually fight with young children just to get them to write. Some of them start to cry, we hold their hands to write and all of that, and you find out that parents require teachers to even get their child of 2 years. Once the child has entered school, the first thing is, my child is not writing A yet, my child is not writing B yet. So this video is for you if your child is in that phase where maybe that child is crying so much because of writing, or does not want to write, or you think that child is lazy. Then I think this video is for you. So we'll be talking about different activities to engage your child in before the child is ready to write. So there's the muscles around the wrist and muscles around the pincer, that's these fingers. Since those children are little, these muscles are still developing, and you cannot just expect the child to be comfortable holding a pencil or pen for a long time to write. So rather than asking the child to hold the pencil, why not engage in these activities first to strengthen those muscles before the child gets ready to write, maybe around the age of 4 thereabouts. And some children even get to start writing earlier than that, but it's better to follow them, follow their own pace. So without talking too much more, let's just go right into it. So in no particular order, and the list I have in this video is not exhaustive, we still have so much more, so just follow along. So the first activity I have here is scribbling or coloring, and this just requires the child holding. If your child is still younger, some you see them holding it with their palmar grips, like the whole palm, holding the large crayon, not tiny crayon, no, large crayon or large chalk, and scribbling on their paper or on the wall or on the floor outside or on a board that you provide. So this activity helps, the child keeps rotating and turning it, drawing circles and just doing jaga jaga as we call it. And then coloring too, so a child can just color an object, and we don't even expect them at that age to color within shape, although it gets to a time when we start to teach them how to color within shape. So that's that. Next activity is pegging. This is a popular activity, although not everybody knows about it. So if you have pegs in your house, just gather some of those pegs into a small bowl or basket and put it in your child's play corner, because pegs, like you can see in this video, helps the child's pincer grip. So when your child is pegging, at first please don't expect the child to use the 3 fingers. The child could just use the whole palm to press, because it takes a lot of effort to press. But as time goes on, the child gets comfortable with using just the 3 fingers, and the child can peg around the table, peg around that particular bowl or basket, or around anything, anywhere. And then when you're spreading your clothes, just invite the child to join and peg along with you. The next activity is fixing stickers. So we had some stickers in my house, and we just decided to waste it, in quotes, and I found that this activity was useful for their pincer groups. My 2 daughters, both of them were trying so hard to concentrate to remove it from the note and stick it, and then of course when they stick, they want to remove. So all of that, they need to use their fingers to pull out the stickers, which is very helpful for their writing in future. Another one is tearing of paper. As an adult, just you think tearing paper should be something a child, without even teaching them, know how to do. I thought so too, until the first time I gave my younger daughter, she is how old now? She's 2, exactly 2, and I gave her a paper to tear, and she was finding it difficult, and she was holding the paper to tear it, and it was very hard for her to tear, until I actually showed her how to hold it with her fingers before she got to tear it. So tearing paper is not a wasteful activity. You can actually bring out papers, maybe newspapers, scrap papers, for that child to tear until it is in scraps, and that would really help their hand muscles. Now there's what we call geo board. We have this board that we just use stuff, just like I see in this video, pins to create. They sell geo boards actually in the market, so if you can afford, you can buy it. But this helps a child, aside creating different shapes for pre-writing, it helps the child pick the rubber band and pull across. So the child has to pull with the finger, and this activity is also great for pre-writing. Now, practical like life activities. If you have not seen that video, I have a video that talks about practical life activities and how you can engage your child in joining you do the regular things you do around the house. Now, there are several practical life activities that helps a child pre-writing skills. For instance, zip. Even the child using spoon to eat, several of them. So I'll just say that every and anything you're doing in the house, provided your child has shown interest in it, please allow that child to join in. You see, sometimes you can allow them to wash the banana, to do the washing or the rinsing of some things, to squeeze. Squeezing helps their wrist muscles. A lot of practical life activities, if not all, helps the muscle around the wrist and the muscle and the fingers. So that's that. Magnet tiles. So we got this Indomie noodles pack, and in some of the noodles pack we had this sticky stuff that you can stick on the fridge or freezer, and I discovered that it will take some effort to even take it off the fridge or freezer, so that because they have to concentrate and focus and use their fingers to pull them down, is automatically a great activity. So you don't even have to buy anything, provided you eat noodles. I'm sure you'll find it around this time you need. And if you don't, magnet tiles generally, all of those sticky things, even sticky alphabets on the fridge, it helps. And then Legos. So when the child is pushing the Legos into each other, pulling them apart, putting blocks together and all of that, they help their fingers. Another activity that helps a child's writing skill ahead is transfer. So one major transfer is just getting the child maybe a spoon, transferring with a spoon. For instance, getting the child a spoon and 2 containers, so that the child can transfer the content of one container into another. What that does is, first of all, the child is holding the spoon with his fingers, and there's a proper way to hold the spoon, so you're teaching the child how to hold the spoon with these 3 fingers, and then the child is scooping. So you're scooping, the wrist is turning. And then finally, the writing directionality. The child is moving the content of the bowl from left to right. Of course, we're not writing Arabic, except you're writing Arabic, that you move from right to left. But always, any activity that child is doing, please let it be from left to right, so that that child masters that writing directionality. For now, we are still struggling on that writing directionality. We also have transfer with tweezers and transfer with pipettes. So if you have tweezers, pipettes, your child can do so. For younger children, maybe you get large tweezers that they can still use their palmar grips to hold, and then as the child grows older, you can get smaller pipettes, tweezers that they would use to pick smaller objects as time goes on. Okay. We also have large and small knobbed puzzles. So there are some puzzles we have that has knobs on it, and those knobs are very good for the child's pincer grip. So the child has to pick it with the 3 fingers and put it back. In fact, this particular one should have been one of the top on my list, because it is one of the resources we always advise young babies, that you should get for young babies. So that's very important and helpful. So another activity is threading. For younger children, it's good to get large beads and a sizable thread, so that they can easily fit the thread into the bead. That helps them focus, and it helps them use their fingers to push the thread into the bead. And then as they grow older, you can get smaller beads, and then the older they get, the tinier the beads. In fact, as I'm recording this video, I'm beginning to see more imagine like getting more beads, smaller beads for my older daughter, since she has outgrown the beads we have currently that my younger daughter should be working with but has not started working with. So threading is a very good activity that helps a child's writing skill. Play-doh is one that never goes out of fashion. So in these days that we are not prone to allowing the child go out and play with so much mud to build things, Play-Doh is very helpful, or kinetic sand, whichever one you are exposed to. Play-Doh helps the child. They would definitely knead and match and cut and turn and twist. This one, in fact, with all of this demonstration, I'm already feeling like I'm exercising my fingers already. So please invest in more Play-Dohs, and sorry in advance for all the mess the Play-Doh would cause in your house, because I'm already warning you in advance. Okay, for older children, cutting with a scissors is helpful, because okay, I have a scissors right here. This is a big scissors and this is for an adult, but we have smaller scissors that helps the child, so the child would learn to even fit the fingers appropriately in the scissors and then open. Trust me, it's because you're an adult, you won't know that this thing is stressful, but for a child, thank you. Here, so we have a small scissors. For a child, this is so much work just to even open this and close. I'm sure, and if you want to be consistent with it, take a week, depending on how strong the child's pincer grip is already, for the child to even master, before we now start to cut a paper randomly. When the child has gotten that, then we now rule lines across the paper. So I would advise that you get a short paper, a paper of this, maybe of this width but longer, and then you rule lines across so that the child can cut across the line. So you start from straight lines, as you can see in this video, and then you move on to zigzag or curvy or wavy, so from simple to complex as always. And that is a very, very, very helpful activity for a child. In fact, even children who are older still need this activity to exercise their hand. For older children, again, tracing lines. So this is where the child now proceeds to using a pencil. Before you give a child a pencil, all of these activities definitely is helpful, but you won't just move straight to giving the child a tiny pencil. It's better to get the chunky large pencils, right, so that their hand still gets used to those pencils. Okay, so this is putting this together, you can see the difference. So this pencil is large. Even crayons come in this size. Their crayons should be large, their pencils should be large before they now proceed to this. Maybe if I would use class now, I don't like putting age to these things, because every child is peculiar and you would not want to box your child to a particular thing, especially when that child is ready. So when the child, thank you. So these are the crayons. These are large crayons, and these are small crayons. So putting green side by side, you see that this is the difference. This makes a lot of difference for a child. Same with the writing pencils too. Now, when the child starts writing, it is necessary that the child starts to trace dotted lines. So you yourself, you don't even have to buy any resource or print anything. Just get a paper and dot lines. Draw a fish using dots, something big, or even a circle. Start with circle using dots, and then the child trace along all the circles on that paper, and child finishes it. Trust me, that child will even enjoy that process, because it is not, you're not stressing the child's brain. The child is not thinking so much, it's just focusing on the lines and, you know, strengthening that pincer grip. And then we now move on to, I think there's no other, move on to writing actual letters. So I would stop here in this video. Okay, I'll just round up with the writing of actual letters, and then we proceed to other videos where we now have, you know, how to teach a child how to write. When the child starts writing actual letters, you help the child learn the writing directionality of the letters, which you'll be seeing in my next video. And then the child, there are many ways the child can, you know, do the what do we call that thing now, letter formation in air, and then the use of sans tray, and then the use of many other things. Please check out my next video, watch out for it. It has not been uploaded as of now, but watch out for it. I would be giving us different, I mean, in fact, all the letters and numbers, how their direction should be, so that your child is not learning how to write a particular letter or number the wrong way. Thank you so much for listening to this time. I hope, yes, I think I exhausted my list, and like I said, this list is not it's not exhaustive. We have a lot more activities. Please do well to share your own ideas. If you have something else that I have not mentioned in this video, we all would love to learn. Remember, all our children, we are still in the same learning process. Thank you so much once again. Please do not rush your child. Every child is unique and different. If your first daughter started writing at 2 years, it's fine. The second one will take his or her time. It's perfectly okay. Follow the child's pace and let it be fun, so that that child, when it's time to write, will not see it as an issue. I'm just grateful for one thing, that no one told me gets to want to write without being prompted. She will run to do her homework without even asking her to do the homework, except she forgets that there's homework. So thank you for staying to the end of this video. If you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button, because I do parenting, kingdom parenting, and learning content for young children that will definitely be of help to you. Until next time, see you.